This video sponsored by EA. What is going on, Galafam and fellow fans of mobile gaming? That's right, Command & Conquer Rivals with a brand new update. We're going to talk about the cloning lab and the release of the Centurion. That's right. Okay, so this is a brand new NOD unit, an anti-vehicle walker, and it's got this thing called a testudo shield system that regenerates. Now, the big thing about this shield is that it just basically takes one hit and it's down, but over time it will regenerate. And you can see right here, as you see a little bit of gameplay, we're going to get into some action gameplay in a little bit, but the shield allows this unit to take a lot of damage up front and then defend itself. There you can see the shield does regenerate. In this defensive stance, it's always going to get the first shot off, but the Centurion does not do well against multiple units. One-on-one, it's going to do great, and again, a great way to counter it, anti-vehicle aircraft, because the Centurion cannot counterattack any sort of aircraft. Again, the shield can block that first shot, but of course, if you follow up with Orca Inferno, burst damage, it's going to wipe it out quickly. So again, just like with any other unit in Command & Conquer Rivals, it is about the counter, about where to place it and when to place it. Mostly the Centurion going to be a great defensive unit when you're trying to hold those pads to get that missile launch off. Now let's talk about another major addition in this most recent update, and that is the Cloning Lab. Now the Cloning Lab is available only to players who have reached level 15, so get there either battling or upgrading, or you can straight out buy levels with gems. Right here we're going to upgrade a couple of NOD units and go ahead and get to level 15, and then we will show the unlocking of the cloning chamber and exactly how it works. Now the cloning chamber is a fantastic way to get free cards. Check it out right here. There we have unlocked the cloning lab, and we get some other benefits as well. But let's talk about what this cloning lab does. It's going to be another great resource to get free cards, much like you would requesting cards from your alliance. But this is a fantastic way to get not only commons, but rares and epics as well. So we're going to go ahead and try out the cloning lab for the very first time and show exactly how it works. Now you've got these cloning chambers. First, let's go ahead and get over here to the lab, and it is right here. There you go. So there you go, cloning chambers. There are a total of 6 that you can have. You'll notice the first one is free, and that infinity symbol at the bottom means that yes, it is infinitely reusable on a 24-hour cooldown. Now, you go ahead and pick the unit. 30 common, 10 rare, or 1 epic card is going to get cloned. You don't actually have to place the cards into the chamber. You just select it, and there you go. 30 battles. 30 battles need to be completed in order to unlock, to complete the clone in that chamber. Now you can purchase additional single-use chambers for 200 gems each, so you could technically have 6 cloning chambers going at once that would all mature and become full after completing 30 battles. All right, we've got Wolverine and Orca in there cloning right now. As soon as we get some battles started, right here we're going to purchase an additional standard chamber for 200 diamonds and get it working as well. So there you go, right here, standard chamber. Pick up another one, again, 30 common, 10 rare, or 1 epic, and it can be the same one. You could technically have 6 of the same unit being cloned at once in 6 different chambers. We're going to choose the Predator tank right here, and there you go. So now you can see the count is at 0 of 30 battles. Get out there, complete 30 battles, and you will receive those massive rewards. So this is definitely a way to receive cards way faster than you would have any other way, because it's just a matter of battling. Again, every player gets 1 for free. We're going to get out there. We've got these and battle. Now, we are not technically going to show a full battle, but just a quick victory. You know, the Galadon picked up. He comes back, and there you can see we've got 1 of 30. So 29 more to go. And remember, the infinite chamber there on the top left has a 24-hour cooldown in which to clone other cards. 30 battles, pretty quick to get done. Speaking of quick battles, let's check out the Centurion in action. Now this is a recent CCTV replay from Diamond League, and let me tell you, first of all, just a great place to go to see amazing battles. You just want the entertainment value of watching some incredibly close, well-fought battles. go to CCTV, or of course, you want to learn strategy, this is a great way to do it. Now, you'll see Nightmare versus Zeiss 44. Now, of course, both units are Nod, but Nightmare is the one that brought the Centurion. Now, early on, Nightmare goes right after his opponent's Harvesters. His opponent brings out 2, and Nightmare going with the quick, fast units. Now, Zeiss has started to counter with the bikes, which you can see are a great counter right here. Nightmare not going to let up. This is going to be one of those Harvester harassment battles where Nightmare just constantly tries to grind down on Zeiss's Harvesters. Zeiss already with a 3rd Harvester out after he lost the first one. He's just about to lose his 2nd Harvester, and more bikes coming out to try to help defend. And you can see at this point, Nightmare has really got the upper hand. He has the offensive advantage. He's keeping his opponent on his heels, trying to react to these attacks on the Harvesters, and nobody has really worked towards control of the platforms until right now, as Zeiss sends in some bikes to take over a platform, and the missile countdown begins momentarily. Now the exchange, Zeiss going after Nightmare's Harvester, and as you can see, control of the pads right now is really secondary. Both players working on harassing those Harvesters, but of course keeping an eye on the missile. You can see that Zeiss has control right now. Things are starting to count up. Watch this deployment. Beautiful timing and placement of the Catalyst missile. Nightmare has one ready. Watch carefully. Here it comes, and takes out all of the opponent's units on his side of the battlefield. And watch as the battle for control of the pads just is jockeying for position. Yellow, red, blue, as players move multiple units around. Actions per minute, a big deal in this game, because you need to be able to coordinate multiple movements at once and account for the enemy. As you can see right here, the missile just about to launch and then switches back to neutral. Now Nightmare's got control of one pad and manages to launch the missile because the other 2 pads were both neutral. They were both contested, and Nightmare had control of just the bottom right pad. So now Nightmare with a big advantage. He's got lots of units out on the battlefield. Now he also has 2 Harvesters working again, and that is going to allow Nightmare to make good use of the Catalyst missiles, another well-placed Catalyst missile, and contention continues. Now Zeiss is working on some big heavy units right here. He's counting on those to hold down the platforms, and you'll notice that Nightmare keeps pumping out the nimble, quick, multiple units, and it's going to be enough to hold Zeiss off and keep him from gaining control. Now Zeiss again with the 2nd Harvester, but you'll notice that Zeiss has not been dropping the Catalyst missiles because he's desperate for Tiberium. Again, Nightmare is not real worried right here about the pads. He drops another Catalyst missile. As the pads are charged, the missile just about ready to go. Nightmare has control. Back and forth again. So many units on the battlefield, and again, so much to watch out for. Remember, it doesn't matter which player charges the pad. It is just control in those final few seconds. Right here, Zeiss gets control, and he's going to get the first launch. If he can control this bottom right pad, you can see Nightmare's last unit goes down, and quickly the charging completes, and Zeiss gets his first launch right here and ties it up. So this is a close battle. But notice, Nightmare has his Centurion units working now, absorbing those big blows from the heavy units that Zeiss is putting out on the battlefield. But Nightmare also, not content with just one Harvester, brings the 2nd Harvester out and again is producing all sorts of different units, not just Centurions. He's still got the light, fast air units coming out. But watch as Zeiss gains control of both pads on the left-hand side. The right-hand pad is just too far away right now for Nightmare to try to stop the charging. And again, that wouldn't stop it. Here comes almost a launch. Somehow, Nightmare grabs control of the left pad. Look at him move to the bottom right. He moves a unit to the bottom right pad and in a split second wins the battle, just because for a split second he gained control at the right moment of that bottom right pad. Let me tell you, this is a game of micro decisions and moments that can completely change the outcome of a game. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you haven't tried it yet, now's the time to download, join my alliance, and I'll see you again tomorrow for more Full Attacks.